and welcome to irunbelle. My name is Tope if you're seeing me for the first time, and in this video we're just going to be doing a very easy two braid puff hairstyle. It's a get ready with me video, and I'll also be sharing a story time about one time where I forgot my passport and I was going to travel. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So I've done my parting and I've detangled my hair as best as I can. I'm just going to braid these two sections, a very easy hairstyle, and add a puff. Yeah, if you've watched some of my videos, you'd have seen this hair already. I've run out of the ones that I braided, so I'll just be using the one that I twisted up for now. I've got two of them there. And so let's just jump right into this video. It's also a story time. I mean, it's Thanksgiving, or Thanksgiving has just passed. I'm filming this on Thanksgiving Day actually. And I just remembered when, like, one time I was going to travel for the holidays and I was going to be joining my family in Chicago. Then I schooled at Harvard. And then my mirror is here if it looks like I'm looking that way. And then from Harvard to Boston Logan is like a 20-minute cab ride or a 20 minutes drive. And so I had an early morning flight. I was going to spend time with my family. My cousin had bought my tickets, so it was a sponsored trip. You know, I was a student and they were very nice. My cousin is very nice, lovely, and so he bought me my flight ticket. So I'm just adding some shine and jam to my hair, the edges and just around, so that it slips down nicely. I'm almost even out of the gel. So yeah, my cousin bought my flight. All I had to do was pack my stuff, go to the airport and make the trip, and then be in Chicago to spend time with my family. And then it was a very early flight. I think it was like 7 a.m. or 6 or something. I don't remember. But then I remember that I woke up very early because I knew I had to get to the airport. I packed my stuff the night before. I left my passport on the table, my reading table. And like I said, I was in school. I was in Harvard studying. So I was a student, international student. And when you're an international student, if you're traveling within America, you still need your passport. Basically, you need an ID, and your passport is the most recognized form of ID that you get, except you have like a state ID in America already, maybe like a driver's license or a particular state ID, you know. And I didn't have that at the time, so my passport was my main form of ID. And so I called an Uber, you know, had all my things packed, called an Uber, and we started the drive to the airport. There wasn't traffic. We got there in about 20 minutes as expected. I got there was a long, as in very, very, very long line. And so I stayed on the line. That's even the line to check in, you know. I stayed on the line to check in, and it was then I realized that I didn't have my passport with me. And if I had gone back to school to get my passport, chances were that I would have missed that flight. I mean, because journey back would have been 20 minutes, and then journey back again to the airport would have been another 20 minutes. So 40 minutes would have gone, and I knew I didn't have that time. So I asked the airline attendant, if I could travel without my passport, and she was like, okay, maybe we'll see. Do you have other ID documents with you? I was like, oh yes, I have my Nigerian driver's license, I have my I have so many ATM cards, like my Nigerian ATM cards, my American ATM cards. So I showed her all that. I showed her my student ID as well. She was like, okay, yeah, let's see. I think it should work. I mean, it's just a domestic flight, you're not leaving the country, so it should work, you know. And so I left there. I went to join the line, the security line, and oh my god, this line was so long, massive. I'm talking about it was like from one end of Nigeria, from the north to the west or something, you know, like just imagine you're going across a country. Oh my god, the line was so long. And my flight was during here. Like I was on that line for over an hour, almost an hour and 30 minutes if I go through security. By then, and my check-in time was, I don't remember now, but like basically I was on that line, check-in had started, I was on that line, you know, and I just couldn't do anything. So when I got to security, I explained to them that, oh, I didn't have my ID and all that, because we were checking IDs that day. I mean, it was like the holiday season. Normally I don't think they check IDs at security, do they? I don't think so. But I think because a lot of people were traveling, they had like extra security at the airports. They even had like those dogs that smell for drugs and other things. You know, there were so many of them at the airport. They were really scrutinizing people and all that. So that's how I somehow, and I couldn't beg people to say, please, my flight is like in 20 minutes, you know, or like 30 minutes, because everybody was waiting as well, and I guess they all had flights to catch. So in the end, I got through security, and as I got through security, I started running towards my gate. And I heard them saying, oh, this is the last boarding call for flight. This is this to Chicago, blah, blah, blah. And I was running. I removed my shoes. I was running. Like, I just didn't want to miss the flight, because I would have felt very bad explaining to my cousin that, hey, I missed my flight. Like, who says that? Yeah, so I started running to the gate. And then I got there. And there was another lady too in front of me running, and there was another guy, another man behind me running. So we're like three running, and I would imagine that a lot of people had been running that day, because like the airline attendants, they were just like very understanding. They saw us running and they kept on doing their jobs. They were announcing, you know, but I could tell that they were racing for us to make it to the gate. And then I got to the gate and I just handed them my pass, like, have it. I can't anymore, you know. Another point, once I gave them the boarding pass, I just calmed down a bit. And yeah, so I got on the flight, went to join my family in Chicago. I didn't have any issues getting out of the airport. It was really straightforward, you know. And so I had a very amazing holiday, food, dancing, celebrating, you know. Everybody was happy. I just said my cousin and my family what happened, and they were just laughing at me. And they had warned me, like, traveling around this period, during the holiday period, is just a nightmare. So be prepared, go early, do this, do that, you know, and all that. So yeah, just looking at what I'm doing. Oh yeah, by the way, so I just moisturized my hair before creating this hairstyle, and this is just my way of keeping my hair, you know, just keeping it, because I've done a lot of combing in the past week, more than I usually do, and this is me like halfway through my wash routine. So I've just decided to do this style to just keep my hair in there, so that my hair can rest and my scalp can rest. And yeah, I think it's looking good. I think it would look good. I'm not braiding it too tightly. I'm nearly at the end. It's just a very quick hairstyle. So I finished the first braid. Yeah, I didn't do a very good job, to be honest. At this back, I see like I didn't grip my hair very well, but I'm going to manage it like that. If you're doing this hairstyle, you know, try harder, try and do something, do a better job than I did. I'm just applying the Shine and Gem gel again to this other half of my hair, like I did for the first one. So I'm leaving some brush, what we call brush, basically some hair in front. So yeah, let me just continue the story from where I stopped. So I spent the holiday with my family. Everything was nice and rosy, and then we're making jokes about how, like, would I be able to travel back without my passport, you know? And I was like, when I came, you know, they let me, it wasn't such a big deal. The flight attendant said since it was domestic, it won't be a problem. And then security accepted my Nigerian driver's license, you know, and yeah. So I just thought like going back to school would be a breeze, and we're joking about how whether I had to get like the bus, Greyhound is it, or Mega Bus or something, one of those two buses, how I might have had to get the bus back to Boston. I was like, no, bus how? You know, because the bus is very long, and then the flight to Chicago is short. I think it's about, I don't remember now, 3 hours, 1 hour, I don't know. My memory, yeah, it's not serving me right now. But yeah, so I packed all my things, you know. They even gave me food to take back to school. I'm talking about like jollof rice, Nigerian jollof rice, meat, you know. I had so much food to take back to school, and you know, I was all packed. I had a wonderful, wonderful time with my family. So I got back to the airport, went through the airline, explained to them, like straight up, I'd started just explaining that, oh, you know, I don't have my passport, and then on my way here they let me blah blah blah, I forgot my passport, I'm an international student, you know, and the airline let me go. And then they were still checking IDs at security. Now I'm beginning to think that maybe it's normal for them to check IDs at security in like America for domestic flights, I don't know. But for whatever reason, they checked. Meanwhile, my cousin and his wife, my family, they had, you know, followed me through the airline. Like, they followed me to the airline stand just to make sure that I'll be able to travel, so that, you know, they will know whether to go and drop me at the bus station, seeing as I didn't have my passport. So I got through security, and at this point they had left me and they were on their way back home. So I got there, and the man is like, oh, where's your ID? I was like, oh, I don't have my passport, but, you know, I explained, and it's like, you know, you can't travel. I was like, hey, what do you mean I can't travel? You know, and it's like, oh no, that I forgot my passport, you know, it was a mistake, I was rushing to travel and I came by plane, you know. It's like, there's no way for me to ID. It's like, oh, I have my Nigerian driver's license, like, it's not valid here. It's like, okay, I have my student ID. It's like, a student ID is not sufficient, you know, he needs a proper ID. My passport, he specified, you know. And it's like, oh, I don't have it. It's like, and I don't know what to do. And you know, I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't like start begging, because of course he has to do the right thing. But just like, is there anything you can do for me? It's like, he's sorry, there's nothing he can do for me. It's like, you sure? But they let me come. Like, I explained, and they let me come here. Like, if at all they didn't let me come, then I would have known that it wasn't possible, you know. And so he went, spoke to some other person, and then spoke to some other person. Of course, they told me to stand aside because I couldn't be holding up the line. And so by the time he came back, he was like, okay, what kind of IDs do you have on you? How do you show that your name is this and that you are who you say you are, you know? I was like, oh yeah, so these are all my IDs that I have, my student ID, my Nigerian license. As you can see, the names correspond. These are my bank cards, the names are the same. And this is my, I think I showed him some other documents, PDF documents that I had on my phone, you know, and a PDF of my passport. I basically just showed him every single thing that I had to prove who I am, you know. And then he joked about how, like, why does one person have so many cards? Like, that's when I realized I shouldn't be carrying my Nigerian cards around, because of course they were of no use to me in America. Okay, so that's what it's looking like now. I'm just going to put them together. I'm just giving it a brush, just brushing all that gel. So I'm also going to put this on like this, wrap it around my hair. And secure with pins. I'll just stand up to get the pins because I just realized I don't have them. Guess who's back? Yeah, so just pinning. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, just to finish up the gist. Anyways, he had mercy on me, and that's how I was able to go back to school. Like, when I told my cousins that, oh my god, they almost sent me back, they were just laughing at me. And yeah, so that's my quick holiday story, holiday travel horror story. I'm just putting a scarf to keep my gel down, and when I do that, when it has stayed down a bit, I'll come back to show you the results. Also, after I've done some makeup to look cute. That's it. That's my holiday story. Let me know in the comment section if you have any Thanksgiving travel horror stories or horrible stories. Not horror, but like, you know, funny stories, you know, or how you almost missed your flight, if you missed your flight, you know, all the stories. Yeah, let me know if you have any of the stories, or Christmas, you know, any holidays. Yeah, so I'll just come back to show you the results. Thank you for sticking with me if you're still here. If this is your first time seeing me, make sure to subscribe. I mean, I share a lot of videos, hair videos, sprinkle of lifestyle, just a sprinkle, you know, showing bits of my life that I'm comfortable sharing. I also share story times like this when I'm doing my hairstyles, and sometimes even when I'm not doing my hairstyle. So if you know you're interested in all this kind of content, make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and yeah, join the family. What are you waiting for? I'll come back with the results soon. I'm back, and let's see how it's looking. I only had this on for like 20 minutes. Yeah, I think this has pressed a bit, but it's fine. So that's the hairstyle. What do you think? What do you think? I hope you like it, because I like it. Even if you don't like it, I love it. Very easy, and it has just really changed my face. Anyways, I'll see you again in my next video. I have to run. Until then, stay blessed, stay safe, and bye.